Start this off with asking, how many of you have pets at home or live with your pet currently? All right, that's a lot of y'all. So now attempt to imagine being unable to speak, trapped in a small cage and undergoing excruciating processes you never signed up for because someone decided your body was an adequate model for another being. That is the daily existence of millions of animals tested in labs worldwide. My first argument is it ethical or not. Animal testing inflicts unnecessary pain. Laboratory experiments often include force feeding of chemicals, repeated injections, skin and eye irritations, and surgery with insufficient pain relief. Animals experience fear, pain, and distress. They form social bonds and perform complex behaviors. Because they are unable to provide consent, subjecting them to invasive experiments degrades living beings to mere tools. Even if some studies bring knowledge to benefit humans, we must weigh that benefit against the moral cost of deliberate suffering. When we are accustomed to cruelty as a normative practice, we compromise our own moral commitments. A just society has to require that any study that causes extreme pain or death to a sentient being be subjected to the highest ethical scrutiny, and in most cases, barred altogether. My second argument is pragmatic. Animal testing is often an unreliable predictor of human outcomes. Human biology differs from that of mice, rabbits, dogs, and other favorite test species in important ways. Those differences matter. A review in the journal Philosophy, Ethics, and Humanities and Medicine in 2015 wrote that a very large percentage of drugs that are safe and effective in animal models subsequently fail in human clinical trials. Similarly, organizations like the American Anti-Vivisection Society have pointed out that drugs that work in animals do not go to succeed in humans. This means time, money, and most valuable of all, human lives are lost in pursuing leads that were compelling only because of species differences. If the goal is to protect and improve human health, it is scientifically questionable to persist with a method that has so low transition rates. My third point is hopeful. We have better, more precise, and more humane options. Advances in biomedical science have created a set of non-animal methods, human cell and tissue cultures, sophisticated computer modeling and organs on chips that replicate human organs functions at the micro level. These technologies have a tendency to produce data more directly relevant to human physiology, and can deliver results more quickly and with less downstream failure. Organizations that campaign to end animal testing, such as Cruelty Free International, track this widening variety of alternatives and report on the uptake by companies and research institutions. If technology offers us techniques that both reduce suffering and increase scientific relevance, then it is practical and more moral to adopt them. Some will argue that animal testing is still necessary for certain kinds of basic research or for safety testing in areas where alternatives have yet to be developed. I share that concern, and I agree that the step from where we are to where we should be has to be cautious and controlled, but necessary. It cannot be a blanket excuse where alternatives exist and are validated. Legislation must require their use. Where there is not yet an alternative, research must prioritize in development of alternatives and subject animal studies to strict oversight and harm reduction. We should be phasing out animal testing, not safeguarding it as a sacrosanct tradition. So what can you do? First, choose cruelty-free products when you have one option and support companies that will not test on animals. Second, support funding for research that aims at human-relevant alternatives. Third, contact your representatives and ask them to support bills that limit or ban animal testing for cosmetics and promote stricter standards in medical research that put